Dehydration can sneak up fast, especially for older adults. Just losing a little too much water can lead to dizziness, confusion, or even a trip to the ER. But here's the good news. Staying hydrated doesn't have to be boring. With the right drinks, hydration can be simple, tasty, and even something to look forward to every day. Before we dive into those delicious options, let's talk about why dehydration is such a serious risk as we age, and why paying attention to it could be one of the most important steps to protect health and independence. Why dehydration is more common in older adults. As we get older, our bodies don't send thirst signals as strongly as they used to. An older adult might not feel thirsty until they are already mildly dehydrated. Combine that with common health issues like diabetes, kidney concerns, or medications such as diuretics that flush water from the body, and it's easy to see why older adults are at higher risk. Muscle mass, which stores a good amount of the body's water, also decreases with age. That means there's simply less water reserve available. Add to this the fact that many seniors intentionally drink less to avoid frequent bathroom trips, and dehydration becomes an everyday danger. The warning signs. The tricky thing is, dehydration doesn't always look dramatic at first. It can start with subtle signs. Dry mouth or sticky saliva, dark yellow urine or reduced urination, fatigue or low energy, mild dizziness when standing, difficulty concentrating. If left untreated, these symptoms can progress to confusion, rapid heartbeat, low blood pressure, or fainting. For an older adult, even one fall due to dizziness can trigger a cascade of health problems. The real-life risks. Let's imagine 2 different days in the life of an older adult. Day 1, they drink only a small cup of water with their morning pills, skip fluids during lunch because they don't feel thirsty, and sip a little tea in the afternoon. By evening, they feel lightheaded when standing, but brush it off as just getting old. Day 2, instead, they start their day with a refreshing glass of water flavored with lemon. At lunch, they enjoy a cool herbal tea with their meal. In the afternoon, they blend a small smoothie with yogurt and fruit, and before bed, they sip on warm milk. They end the day energized, alert, and hydrated. This isn't about drinking gallons of water. It's about making small, steady choices that add up to protection against the serious dangers of dehydration. The link to hospital visits. Dehydration is one of the most common reasons older adults end up in the emergency room. In fact, studies show it is a leading cause of preventable hospital admissions among seniors. Even mild dehydration can worsen existing conditions like urinary tract infections, kidney disease, or heart problems. But here's the encouraging part. Staying hydrated is one of the simplest, most effective ways to avoid unnecessary ER visits and protect independence. It's a preventive medicine that comes from your glass, not a prescription bottle. Hydration is independence. Water is life. For older adults, hydration isn't just about comfort. It's about maintaining independence, energy, and clarity of mind. A hydrated body moves better, thinks sharper, digests food more smoothly, and recovers from illness faster. The goal isn't to nag about drinking water. It's to create an environment where staying hydrated feels good, tastes good, and becomes a natural part of daily life. Looking ahead. Now that we've uncovered the hidden danger of dehydration and why it's especially important for older adults, the big question remains, how much do we really need to drink? And does it all have to be plain water? In the next section, we'll break down the science of hydration, how fluids actually work in the body, how much is enough, and how to separate hydration myths from facts. Because once you understand the why, the how becomes a whole lot easier and more enjoyable. We've uncovered why dehydration is a hidden danger for older adults. But now comes the question many people ask. How much water do we really need, and why is it so important? The truth is, hydration isn't just about quenching thirst. It's about fueling every system in the body. Let's break down what's happening behind the scenes every time you take a sip of fluid, and clear up some of the most common myths along the way. Water, the body's silent hero. About 60% of the human body is made up of water. In older adults, That number can dip slightly, which makes every ounce more important. Water cushions our joints, regulates body temperature, moves nutrients through the bloodstream, and even helps remove waste from the kidneys. Think of it this way: water is like the oil in a car engine. Without it, things grind, overheat, and break down quickly. For an older adult, who may already have chronic conditions or take multiple medications, hydration is the difference between smooth functioning and unnecessary strain on vital organs. Why older adults feel less thirst. Here's something fascinating. The body's natural thirst alarm becomes weaker with age. A younger person might immediately feel thirsty after mild fluid loss, but an older adult can already be in the early stages of dehydration without noticing. This blunted thirst response is one reason why relying on feeling thirsty isn't a reliable strategy for hydration in later life. Instead, older adults need a consistent routine of drinking fluids, even if their body isn't ringing alarm bells. How much fluid do we really need? You may have heard the old rule of thumb, 8 glasses of water a day. While it's not a bad guideline, it's also not entirely accurate. Needs vary depending on body size, activity level, health conditions, and even the weather. Experts often recommend around 2 liters, about 8 to 10 cups, of fluids per day for older adults. That doesn't mean it has to be plain water. Milk, herbal teas, broths, and even hydrating foods like cucumbers, watermelon, and oranges all count toward that daily total. The key is variety. When drinks taste good and feel satisfying, they are easier to incorporate into daily life. Hydration myths, clearing up confusion. There's a lot of confusion around what counts as hydration. Let's tackle a few myths. Myth 1, only plain water hydrates. False. Many drinks contribute to fluid intake. In fact, milk, coconut water, herbal teas, and even certain juices provide hydration plus extra nutrients. Myth 2, coffee and tea don't count. While too much caffeine can have a mild diuretic effect, moderate amounts of coffee or tea still provide net hydration. The key is balance, and for older adults, caffeine-free or low-caffeine options are often better. Myth 3, if I'm not sweating, I don't need much fluid. Even when you're sitting still, your body is constantly losing water through breathing, digestion, and temperature regulation. That's why hydration is important every day, not just when exercising. Myth 4, drinking more water always prevents dehydration. More isn't always better. For people with certain conditions, like kidney disease or heart failure, fluid intake may need to be monitored. The goal is steady, balanced hydration, not overload. The connection between hydration and the brain. One of the most surprising effects of hydration is its impact on the brain. Even mild dehydration, just a 2% loss of body fluids, can cause confusion, difficulty concentrating, and mood changes. For older adults, this can be mistaken for dementia or worsening memory, when in reality, the brain is simply thirsty. Hydrating regularly can improve mental clarity, reduce fatigue, and even enhance mood. It's not a cure-all, but it's one of the simplest tools for protecting cognitive health. Hydration and medications. Many older adults take medications that affect hydration. Diuretics, commonly prescribed for blood pressure or heart failure, increase urination and fluid loss. Laxatives can do the same. Other medications may reduce saliva production, making drinking feel less appealing. That's why it's crucial for older adults and caregivers to review medications with a doctor or pharmacist and to adjust hydration habits accordingly. In some cases, pairing fluids with meals or snacks helps maintain balance without overwhelming the body. Hydration and body temperature. Older adults are more vulnerable to heat stress, especially in summer. Without enough water, the body can't sweat efficiently, making it harder to stay cool. This is one reason why heat waves are so dangerous for seniors. Staying ahead of thirst by sipping cool fluids regularly throughout the day helps the body maintain a safe temperature, even in warmer environments. How to tell if you're hydrated. One of the simplest ways to check hydration is by looking at urine color. Pale yellow usually indicates good hydration, while dark yellow or amber signals a need for more fluids. Another tip, Monitor energy levels and skin elasticity. If skin stays tented when gently pinched, it can be a sign of dehydration. But urine color remains the easiest and most reliable daily guide. The takeaway: hydration isn't about guzzling endless glasses of water. It's about steady, enjoyable, and balanced fluid intake throughout the day. Older adults don't need to rely on thirst alone. They need a hydration strategy that works with their body, lifestyle, and taste preferences. By now, we know why hydration is so important for older adults and how much fluid the body really needs. But here's the exciting part. Staying hydrated doesn't mean forcing down glass after glass of plain water. There are endless ways to turn hydration into something enjoyable, flavorful, and nourishing. Let's dive into some delicious drink ideas that not only quench thirst but also provide extra nutrients, energy, and comfort. Infused waters, a splash of flavor. Plain water can feel boring, especially for someone who's not naturally thirsty. Infused waters are a simple, refreshing solution. By adding slices of fruit, herbs, or even vegetables, you can transform water into a drink that's colorful, fragrant, and far more inviting. Some easy combinations include lemon and cucumber for a spa-like refreshment, orange and mint for a sweet, citrusy lift, strawberry and basil for a hint of summer flavor, apple slices with cinnamon sticks for a cozy touch. Infused waters don't add sugar, but they bring enough flavor to encourage more frequent sipping. They can be made in large pitchers and kept in the fridge, ready to pour throughout the day. Herbal teas, comfort in a cup. Herbal teas are caffeine-free, soothing, and hydrating. They can be served warm in cooler months or iced in the summer. Options like chamomile, peppermint, rooibos, or hibiscus not only taste wonderful but also offer gentle health benefits, calming digestion, relaxing the body, or providing antioxidants. For older adults, sipping tea can also be a comforting ritual. It turns hydration into an experience, a warm mug in the hands, a calming aroma, a sense of relaxation. That emotional comfort is just as important as the physical benefits. Milk and plant-based alternatives. Milk is often overlooked as a hydrating beverage, but it provides fluids plus protein, calcium, and vitamin D, nutrients that are especially valuable for older adults. A glass of milk or fortified plant-based alternatives like soy, almond, or oat milk can be an excellent option, particularly with breakfast or as a bedtime drink. Warm milk with a touch of honey or cinnamon can also promote relaxation and better sleep, making it a hydrating nightcap with added comfort. Smoothies, hydration with nutrition. Smoothies are a powerhouse choice because they combine fluids with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. They are especially helpful for older adults who may have reduced appetite but still need nutrient-dense options. A simple smoothie might include a base of milk, plant milk, or yogurt, fruits like banana, berries, or mango, a handful of greens like spinach, mild flavor, big nutrition, ice cubes or coconut water for extra hydration. Smoothies can also be adjusted for specific needs. For example, adding protein powder or nut butter for strength, or blending with oats for sustained energy. For those with chewing or swallowing difficulties, smoothies provide hydration in an easy-to-consume form. Electrolyte-rich drinks. Electrolytes, like sodium, potassium, and magnesium, help the body balance fluids. They are especially important for older adults who may lose more fluids through sweating in hot weather or due to medications. While store-bought sports drinks contain electrolytes, they often come with high sugar content. Homemade versions are healthier and just as effective. For example, mix water with a splash of orange juice, a pinch of salt, and a drizzle of honey. Or try coconut water, which naturally contains potassium and electrolytes without the added sugar of sodas or sports drinks. Electrolyte drinks are particularly useful after activity, illness, or in hot weather when the risk of dehydration is higher. Soups and broths, warm hydration. Not all hydration has to come from sweet or cold drinks. Savory options like vegetable broth, chicken soup, or miso broth provide fluids plus warmth and comfort. They are easy to sip, especially for those who don't enjoy sweet beverages, and they come with the bonus of nutrients like protein, vitamins, and minerals. Soups can also be a clever way to boost hydration at mealtimes, turning a bowl of comfort into a health tool. Fruit juices, with balance. Fruit juices do provide hydration and nutrients like vitamin C, but they also contain natural sugars. For older adults, moderation is key. A small glass of 100% orange juice, pomegranate juice, or grape juice can be refreshing and nourishing, but it's best to dilute juices with water or sparkling water to reduce sugar while keeping the flavor. This not only stretches the juice but also makes it a lighter, more refreshing drink. Creative sparkling options. Sometimes bubbles make hydration more fun. Sparkling water flavored with natural fruit essence can be a satisfying alternative to soda. For those who miss the fizz of soft drinks but want something healthier, sparkling waters are a great middle ground. Adding a splash of juice or a squeeze of lemon to sparkling water creates a refreshing beverage that feels festive without added sugar or caffeine. Hydrating foods count too. It's not just drinks that hydrate. Many foods are water-rich and can contribute significantly to fluid intake. Examples include watermelon, over 90% water, oranges, strawberries, and peaches, cucumbers, celery, and lettuce, yogurt and cottage cheese. For older adults who struggle to drink large amounts, including these foods in meals and snacks helps keep hydration levels up throughout the day. Making hydration appealing. The secret to success is variety. Having multiple options throughout the day keeps hydration interesting and enjoyable. Some people may look forward to a morning smoothie, an afternoon herbal tea, and an evening cup of warm milk. Others may prefer a steady rotation of infused waters and broths. Hydration should feel like a treat, not a chore. By offering colorful, flavorful, and nourishing drinks, older adults are far more likely to stay consistent and reap the benefits. We've explored why hydration matters and looked at delicious, nourishing drinks that make it fun. But here's the challenge: knowing what to drink is one thing. Actually drinking enough every single day is another. For older adults, it's easy to forget, delay, or even avoid fluids altogether. That's where strategies come in. Small, practical habits can make the difference between dehydration risk and steady hydration. Let's talk about how to put it into practice. Make hydration routine. One of the simplest strategies is to tie drinking fluids to daily activities. Instead of waiting for thirst signals, connect hydration to habits you already do. A glass of water or milk with morning medication. Herbal tea with lunch. A smoothie as an afternoon snack. A small cup of warm milk before bed. This habit stacking makes drinking automatic. Just as brushing your teeth is tied to waking up or going to sleep, hydration becomes built into the day. Use reminders and visual cues. For older adults who forget to drink, reminders can be powerful. Simple tools include keeping a colorful water bottle or cup in sight at all times, setting an alarm on a phone or clock to prompt a sip every hour, using a chart or hydration tracker to check off each cup throughout the day. Even something as small as placing a glass of water at the bedside before sleep can encourage sipping before or after rest. Make drinks appealing. If water feels dull, it's easy to avoid it. That's why presentation and variety matter. Using a favorite mug, a glass with a straw, or even a slice of lemon in the cup can make drinking more inviting. Temperature also plays a role. Some older adults prefer cold drinks, while others find warm beverages easier to enjoy. Having options, iced herbal tea in summer, cozy broth in winter, keeps hydration comfortable and appealing. Small sips add up. Not everyone can or wants to drink large amounts at once. The good news is, hydration doesn't have to happen in big gulps. A few small sips every 15 to 20 minutes add up to plenty by the end of the day. This approach is especially helpful for older adults who worry about bladder urgency. By spreading fluids evenly throughout the day, the body absorbs them better, and trips to the bathroom may actually become easier to manage. Pair fluids with snacks. Another strategy is to link drinking to eating. Every snack or meal becomes a hydration opportunity. A cup of soup with lunch, fruit alongside breakfast, or a glass of milk with an afternoon cookie all contribute to daily fluid goals. This works especially well for older adults who struggle with appetite. Pairing fluids with food creates a natural rhythm and avoids overwhelming the stomach with large amounts at once. Hydrating snacks. Beyond drinks, offering water-rich snacks boosts hydration in sneaky ways. Fresh fruit like watermelon, oranges, or grapes, crunchy vegetables like cucumber or celery, and even yogurt cups all provide fluids. These foods are refreshing, easy to chew, and enjoyable to eat. For someone who resists plain water, serving hydrating snacks can be a less intimidating path toward fluid intake. Overcoming barriers. Many older adults have specific concerns that make hydration challenging. Let's address a few common ones. Bathroom concerns. Fear of frequent urination is one of the top reasons seniors avoid fluids. The solution is balance. Steady, smaller sips spread throughout the day reduce urgency. It's also important to stay hydrated earlier in the day, so nighttime bathroom trips are minimized. Swallowing difficulties. Dysphagia for some. Thin liquids are hard to swallow. In this case, thickened fluids, smoothies, or nutrient-rich puddings can provide hydration in a safer, easier-to-swallow form. Taste fatigue. Drinking plain water repeatedly gets boring. Rotating between flavored waters, teas, and broths keeps hydration enjoyable and prevents monotony. Mobility challenges. If getting up for a drink is difficult, keeping drinks within reach is essential. A spill-proof cup with a straw, placed by the chair or bedside, encourages steady sipping without added effort. Social and emotional connection. Hydration doesn't have to be a solitary act. Making it social can boost consistency and enjoyment. Examples include afternoon tea time with friends or family, sharing smoothies with grandchildren, a hydration check-in between caregiver and loved one, turning it into a small moment of connection. When hydration feels like a shared ritual, it becomes more meaningful and less of a task. Fun tools and gadgets. Sometimes a little creativity helps. Colorful water bottles with measurement markings, cups with built-in straws, or even smart bottles that light up when it's time to drink can make hydration fun. For older adults with vision concerns, using bright-colored cups helps them stand out and serve as a reminder. It's not about fancy technology. It's about finding the small things that make drinking easier, safer, and more enjoyable. Adapting hydration to the season. Hydration needs change with the seasons. In summer, cool drinks, smoothies, and water-rich fruits are refreshing and practical. In winter, warm teas, broths, and hot milk provide comfort while keeping fluids steady. Adapting to seasonal preferences not only ensures hydration, but also makes drinks something to look forward to. Caregiver strategies. For caregivers, encouraging hydration can feel like a constant struggle. Instead of nagging, framing it positively often works better. Offering a favorite flavored water, preparing a colorful smoothie, or simply sitting down for a shared cup of tea turns hydration into a bonding activity. We've uncovered the dangers of dehydration, explored the science of fluid balance, discovered delicious drink options, and shared strategies to make hydration part of daily life. Now comes the most important step, turning hydration into a lifestyle. Because staying hydrated isn't just about avoiding dizziness or dry mouth, it's about building long-term energy, protecting independence, and enjoying life to the fullest. The long-term benefits of good hydration. When hydration becomes a consistent habit, the rewards show up in nearly every system of the body. Brain health. Adequate hydration supports sharper memory, better focus, and a more stable mood. Even mild dehydration can mimic symptoms of confusion, but steady fluid intake helps keep the mind clear. Energy and vitality. Water and nutrient-rich drinks help transport oxygen and nutrients to cells. This keeps energy levels steady throughout the day, reducing fatigue. Digestive health. Fluids aid in smooth digestion and prevent constipation, a common challenge for older adults. Kidney and urinary health. Hydration supports kidney function, flushes out toxins, and reduces the risk of urinary tract infections and kidney stones. Heart health. Proper hydration helps maintain healthy blood volume and supports circulation, easing strain on the heart. Skin and joints. Hydrated skin looks healthier and feels less dry. Fluids also cushion joints, supporting mobility and comfort. In short, hydration is like invisible fuel. It powers the body quietly, but the results, clearer thinking, smoother movement, and better resilience, are deeply visible in everyday life. Hydration and medication safety. For older adults, many medications depend on proper hydration to work safely and effectively. Diuretics, for instance, increase urination, which means fluids must be replenished. Pain medications, antibiotics, and even supplements like fiber or iron often work better when taken with enough fluids. Without proper hydration, medications can irritate the stomach, cause dizziness, or build up in the body in unsafe ways. That's why doctors and pharmacists so often stress, take with plenty of water. It's not just advice, it's a safeguard. Stories of success. Hydration may seem simple, but the difference it makes is profound. Imagine an older adult who was frequently tired, had trouble concentrating, and even experienced occasional falls. By slowly introducing flavorful drinks and hydration routines, they not only improved their energy but also regained confidence in daily life. Another example, a grandmother who struggled with constipation for years found relief simply by sipping on warm teas and broths throughout the day. Or a grandfather who was often dizzy in summer but discovered that adding electrolyte drinks and watermelon snacks kept him steady and safe outdoors. These stories highlight an important truth. Small hydration changes can create ripple effects across health, safety, and happiness. Hydration is part of daily joy. The best hydration plans aren't just about meeting a quota, they are about creating moments of enjoyment. A cup of tea shared with a loved one, a refreshing smoothie after a walk, or even a bowl of warm soup on a cold evening, these aren't chores. They are pleasures. When hydration is linked to joy, comfort, and connection, it becomes something to look forward to. And that shift in mindset turns drinking fluids from a task into a lifestyle. Hydration through the seasons. Hydration needs change throughout the year. In the summer, lighter drinks like infused water, iced tea, and smoothies help cool the body. In the winter, warm drinks like broth, hot milk, and herbal teas provide comfort. By adjusting to the seasons, hydration feels natural and satisfying. This seasonal variety also keeps drinks interesting, preventing taste fatigue and keeping fluid intake consistent all year long. Empowering independence. One of the biggest fears for many older adults is losing independence. Hydration plays a bigger role here than most people realize. Proper hydration supports balance, alertness, and energy, all key to moving safely and making confident decisions. For caregivers, encouraging hydration is more than a health task. It's a way to empower older adults to live with vitality, reducing risks that can lead to hospital visits or reliance on extra care. Recap of the best drinks and tips. Let's bring it all together with a quick recap. Infused waters add flavor without sugar. Herbal teas comfort and hydrate without caffeine. Milk and plant-based alternatives deliver hydration plus nutrients. Smoothies combine fluids with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. Electrolyte drinks help after activity, illness, or hot days. Soups and broths warm, savory hydration. Hydrating snacks like watermelon, cucumber, and yogurt count too. And the best strategies. Make hydration routine. Sip steadily throughout the day. Use reminders. Keep drinks appealing. And overcome barriers with creativity. A final motivation. Dehydration may sneak up quietly, but hydration builds a shield of protection that is powerful and life-giving. Every sip is an investment in clearer thinking, steadier steps, healthier digestion, and stronger independence. So whether it's a refreshing glass of fruit-infused water, a comforting cup of tea, or a colorful smoothie, remember, hydration isn't just about avoiding problems. It's about fueling joy, health, and vitality at every stage of life. Let every drink be a celebration of life, and every sip a step toward energy, safety, and strength. Because staying hydrated is one of the simplest, most delicious ways to protect health, and to keep living fully every single day.